What's up, everyone? It's time for me to go over what the best class is, and I don't think anyone's shocked if I say Prismatic Hunter. The meta has not changed at all. Shocker. The new best Prismatic Hunter build. Squall, and then the same thing you've been running since the final shape came out. More people have been running Dust Fields. Even some people are running, I'm gonna be honest, Arc Bolts, they just aren't it. They nerf these things so much. Dust Fields or Swarms, if you don't know what the nerf was, all your abilities like 15% longer to get on Prismatic. It doesn't show it here, but this is like a 2-minute cooldown now. This is probably like a 145 cooldown. And it takes 50 seconds to get your dodge back if you're on 100 mobility. So don't mind my stat split here, I haven't made a new build yet, but you want 100 mobility now. Usually I don't promote 100 mobility. Usually I say like use 90 or 80. But you want 100 mobility now if you plan on playing Prismatic Hunter. So yeah, this is the best build right now. I'm sure no one is shocked. But let me talk about the other builds like Omni. So actually, before I go into Omni, the Knucklehead Radar nerf just made it so the wall hacks last for 3 seconds. You still keep your radar wall aimed down sights, you still do the bonus damage. So now just when you hit someone, marks them for 3 seconds. You definitely can tell 3 seconds of wall hacks instead of 7. You shoot someone, you have the walls on them, and you know exactly where to throw your abilities at them. Stompies real quick. If you've been playing Stompies for years, and you just refuse to take them off, that's also viable. Some people think these are bad now. These aren't bad at all. Just being faster helps out with taking map control, and a lot of people don't predict the slide. But yeah, let me go into Omni, because I previously made a video saying Omni is now the best hunter build. I still think it's one of the best hunter builds, but like I said in the video, triple Omni, it might be annoying to play against, but I can't quite say that's the best team comp. I said a good way to look at it is like a team comp thing. So 1 Omni and double Prismatic Hunter, or 1 Omni and 2 Stasis Hunters with renewals is probably the best team comp now. Even now after the 120 buff, I think you really should have an Omni on the team. Omni will let you tank the body shot from the 2 head 1 body. So with Omni, when you make your teammates invis, they also get resist. That resist is like nothing, it's 2%, but that resist can tank the 2 head 1 body also if you're not using Precision Instrument, and it depends on how long the people are invis. I still think Precision Instrument is the top perk here. Now every 120 can 2 head 1 body. It's about the range it gives it. You know how people like to sit back. And it also helps out with fighting void overshields. And it's also going to help out in this meta when more people start using renewals and Omni and stuff. I guess you could say Prismatic Hunter by itself is the best, is the best build in the game, right? That Prismatic Hunter build I showed by itself is the best build in the game. I guess you could say the best team comp is having an Omni on the team. 1 Void Hunter with Omni. So, renewals. So, as you can see here, still the most played thing on Hunter. Prismatic, Void, and Stasis is always last. Renewals make Stasis Hunter top tier. You might think this exotic has a lot of downtime. It has a lot of downtime on Prismatic, but you have a lot more uptime on Stasis because of fragments like Shards, Torment. You also enhance it on Stasis with Touch of Winter. I should have 100 Discipline, but look at this. So with 100 Discipline, I'd have a 45 second cooldown. That would be even faster with the fragments I showed. And something I forgot to mention is, so renewals will give you Frost Armor, and that will make Torment even better. So you have a lot more uptime on Stasis Hunter with the renewals. The only weakness of this class is honestly the melee. The reason why renewals isn't as good on Prismatic Hunter is because of the long cooldowns. You just don't get your dust field as much, and you don't have the fragments to buff it. That's why I think renewals aren't as good on Prismatic Hunter. I mean, you can still use them if you really want to, but I feel like just use Stasis. So the issue with Prismatic Hunter, and I mean, I'm sure everyone already knows, is Bungie decided to give this thing every good ability and aspect. And they decided to buff them too. Like, what were they thinking? Smokes and Swarms. They buffed these to be one of the strongest abilities in the game. Didn't care about Swarms before, and then Bungie buffed them, and everyone just then these became one of the best grenades in the game. And then they gave this class the clone dodge. This was a dumb idea. Because no matter how many times they nerf this dodge, it's still so strong. I can't believe they actually gave it the clone dodge. And then the slow dodge is, actually, you know what? People think the slow dodge sucks sometimes. You slow dodge near someone, and then the clone blows up on them, and what can they even do? This helps out for getting aped by shotguns and stuff. until Bungie decides to nerf these abilities, or they actually decide to buff like a lot of underlying things that these abilities become kind of irrelevant, then this class will always be top tier. Probably the best, to be honest. So back to the team comp thing, I hope that does make sense, because all three of these builds I showed, these are not gimmick exotics at all. These have always been super strong. I've seen all of these builds used during Prime Prismatic Hunter, and I've seen them all work. I got some comment on my Omni build saying this is like a bad build and it's a gimmick exotic, and I was just in shock, because who in the game thinks Omni is a gimmick exotic? Everyone knows how good Omni is. Everyone knows how strong Invis is. So it's like, I do have to talk about, none of these are gimmick exotics. These have always been super strong. If I had to rank them, Stasis Hunter is number 3, Omni is number 2, and Prismatic Hunter is number 1. Another thing I want to talk about is the pulse rifle that came out of nowhere that everyone is using now. So Relentless. Real quick, with the new mods definitely power creep the old weapons even more. Relentless gets the same perks as the Messenger, but also with a super strong origin trait. And there is a couple special things about Relentless I'll go into now. You always want Head Seeker on these pulse rifles. So this origin trait right here grants you 10 range, and you get high impact reserves the lower your mag gets. This has ricochet rounds. I'm just gonna put on Arrowhead. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put on Arrowhead here. Let's go with a ranged masterwork. Let's put on ballistics. With crossing over, this has 86 range. You can also get keep away. So this is now 96 range. It's really for you to decide, do you want keep away, rapid hit, or slice? More people need to realize how strong this perk is. So this perk is really strong on hunters and a certain Titan build, the Hoarfrost Ice build. And what this does is it just debuffs people so they do 10% less damage. Remember, you know, Trials of the Team mode. Imagine the Invis player with Slice just debuffing everyone. 10% less damage. Yeah, 120s aren't going to be able to 2-head one body when you get debuffed by Slice. It's a lot of setup, but slicing someone, having some Frost armor, and being Invis with Omni will let you tank a Shap shot again. That's a lot of setup, but that is just something to think about. I have seen that happen in a stacked game that did win the round of tanking the Shap shot, so that is something. Now, is this thing better than the Messenger? I'm going to say yes, because of the enhanced perks. I can't get the Adept Messenger, so I can't put the Adept mods on. Is this thing better than the Zen Moment Headseeker Cold Denial that Xur sold? Yes. You also can't, because you can't enhance that, and it's kind of lower in range. Also, another thing with Relentless, Bungie bringing back Zealots, which also helps out this being the primary pulse, because then you can use it with Zealots. This is what people are usually rocking now. You could also use it with Icebreaker if you wanted to. This is another pulse rifle, you can actually focus it now. This is also a super strong pulse rifle a lot of people sleep on because of Elemental. If I ever get a good one, I'll do a video on it, but this is also another one to look out for. Hope I explained everything well in this. Once again, it is kind of like, it is a team comp thing. 3 Prismatic Hunters versus 2 Prismatic Hunters and an Omni. You have to worry about the Invis the whole game. And then with renewals, you can also throw it, you know, give your whole team Frost armor. I definitely do think these are the 3 strongest exotics for, you know, team play. You could even say Knucklehead is a team exotic because you can call out where the other person is. Technically, you could do that, but yeah, Knucklehead is just still super strong. It also gives you the enhanced radar, so it's like, I don't know, this exotic does a lot, still super strong. If people are telling you it sucks now, they're wrong. Just use it still.